Are you out of sight?
Is intended for mature audiences only.
Parental discretion is advised.
Hello world, and welcome back to Outtasite Radio. I am on live with Captain Robert and Jody Ellen of Abney Park. The call-in number is 786-245-8127, or join us in the chat room at psn-radio.com. Jody Ellen, Captain Robert, how are you guys tonight?
Doing great, Mike.
Doing good?
I'm drinking the mics.
Well, somebody's already calling in. I guess they don't want to wait to at least say hello to Captain Rob. And so, do you want to patch him in?
Jeez.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take the first call for Abney Park here. Outtasite Radio, Suit Media Network. Let's do it. Hello.
All right, this should be on with us. Hello. Welcome to Movie Phone.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the air with Abney Park.
Wonderful.
Captain Robert and Jody Ellen at Abney Park. Do you have a question for the distinguished lady and gentleman?
I do. I've been a big fan since back in the Cemetery #1 days. And having listened to this progression of the band and how you guys are and what your sound is, and I noticed especially with this newest album with the End of Days, it seems to have gone to a very, I don't want to say a darker, but like a more mature place, a very transitional place. What brought that on? The whole album seems to deal a lot more with adult transitions and a little less fantasy to it.
I would say, boy, I don't know. That's the first time that's actually been pointed out to me. I mean, the darker side that you're mentioning, I actually think it's I've noticed before, especially when I was writing the song Fight or Flight on this new album. I remember Kristina walking into the studio when I was working on it, and she's like, that song should be on our first album, not our latest album, because it definitely sounds like that old school Abney Park. But interesting. Why? So you're saying it's got more adult themes?
Well, it seems to be a little less lighthearted airship pirate and a lot more, looking at your life and very introspective.
Hey, Robert?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I totally agree. What
Isn't it, in a way, because, how you changed over to full-time Abney Park and you just kind of been thinking about your life in general and reflecting on all the changes you've made?
Yeah, but I've always written about my life, and and the switch from to full-time Abney Park was quite a long time ago now. But yeah, that's a really good question. Boy, I don't know. Next caller.
You have stumped the good captain.
Well, I'm sure the captain will make me pay for that the next time I see him out at the shows.
All right. Yeah, be sure to come up to me and say, I'm the one that asked that question we didn't understand.
Well, at least you've given the good captain something to ponder on. So congratulations. And thanks for calling in to Outtasite Radio. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Now, Captain Rob, here's a question I hope you could answer. For the people who are listening that may not be familiar with the steampunk genre, can you explain to the unknowing populace, what are the tendencies of steampunk? What's the steampunk movement about in your estimation?
Well, steampunk sort of started, steampunk started as a literary style and a comic book style and then a movie style. It was this sort of style of, if you imagined what the Victorian people would think the future would be like, so sort of Victorian era science fiction. That's the aesthetic that started, and everything that you'd picture with old copper machines powered by steam but traveling through time or traveling through the skies, that kind of thing. Steampunk has turned into this sort of social movement, this sort of underground genre, just like anything else that once was underground, like punk rock or goth or industrial or any of these scenes that were once underground and now mainstream. That's sort of the era that steampunk finds itself in now, where it's now coming out of just being a description for a genre into being a whole culture on its own. And so you've got all these people, everything from Burning Man and the maker cultures, to the cosplayers, to the science fiction writers, to just all of these different people embracing it in all of these different ways. And it's sort of growing and expanding on what it originally was and turning into this huge, big, epic, awesome world.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, me personally, I just find it so interesting, the imagery. And, it's no secret. I've told you several times that Abney Park is one of my favorite bands because of the music. But when you add on the imagery and the backstory and the semi-fiction and stuff to it, I just think it's real interesting, and I'm not easily impressed. I think that there's a lot of creativity missing from entertainment, and steampunk has that sort of creativity in truckloads, and that's what I like about it, personally.
Awesome. Well, very cool. Well, we love you too, Mike.
I love you, man.
And for those
Mike,
of you
you're
guys listening who are old school Abney Park fans that may not necessarily be familiar with Mike, not only is Mike an awesome recording artist, and you can listen to his Outtasite albums, he's the one that you hear delivering the rap in our song. Mm-hmm. What the hell song? What's the name of that song, Jody?
Till the Day You Die.
Till the Day You Die. That's the one. Yeah, and you can you can download that on our website right now too, and actually hear Jody, Captain Robert, and Mike all doing their thing on that one.
Mike,
the
aka
best concert ever.
AKA Outtasite. Now, you got to remember this is Outtasite Radio, and for this 120 minutes, I'm only Outtasite. I'll be Mike later on.
You Mike.
Okay. No, you call me.
All right, Outtasite.
But I tell you what, that song though, I loved recording that song with you guys because I love to challenge myself. And when you listen to that song, I'm a rapper, and the average person might listen to the original version of Till the Day You Die, and they might not find anything hip hop about it, or they might not see how anybody could possibly fit a rap verse in a song. And I just like those kind of challenges pretty much. Similar to the challenges that I face when I work with Chris Ballou doing the Fill-Ins Hijackers. That's what the experience working with you guys reminded me of the most.
We should do it again.
There was a great moment too. There was a great moment when we were all in the studio, and Outtasite came down, and he was there with his people, and we were doing our song, and he was going to show us this rap that he had done. None of us had ever heard it before. None of us knew what was going on. So here's Abney Park in our steampunk studio, and we're playing our thing, and we get to the instrumental break that goes into his rap, and he starts to do it, and everybody in the band has sort of got this look on their face like, oh, what the hell is this going to be? And then he starts to go with it, and literally everybody in the dance like, damn, that's cool. It was a great moment.
And the energy on stage when he came out was ridiculous. Like, people just loved it. Just accepted it.
We made it a huge surprise for the audience, too. So here we had this sold-out house, this great big club. This is hundreds and hundreds of people. And we didn't announce that he was coming up there. Nobody knew what was going on. It was all this big surprise. Right in the middle of the song, he comes out with his dancers, and he starts to bust into his rap. And it was fucking awesome. Sorry. Wait, am I allowed to say the word fuck on the radio if it's internet radio?
Yes, you can. I have a great big disclaimer at the beginning of this show. Okay.
You can say and I'm gonna.
And because the bottom line is, I'm not some X-rated host, but I cannot homogenize my show for children necessarily. So you could just say fuck as many times as you want, Captain Rob. You're the captain.
We got another fucking call. Do you guys want to fucking take it?
Let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
All right, let's fucking do this.
I'll pour another fucking shot then.
Right on.
Do it.
Caller, you're on the air with Captain
Hello,
Rob.
caller. You're on the air on Outtasite Radio. Captain Rob and Jody
Ellen. What their name is.
What is your name, caller?
Caller just hung up. Oh, well.
Dude, not okay.
This is the wrong number. Hello, have you paid your cell phone bill this month?
Well, apparently
shy for the radio.
Apparently, one person was offended with the F-bombs. I have a question, though. You guys have done quite a bit of traveling in your term as a band. What are some of your favorite places? What are some of your favorite places to perform?
Robert's
going to say London.
Oh, yeah, well, London was awesome. London is always awesome. But last year, I think the one that got us most excited was Austin, Texas.
Oh, you mean the one where I passed out?
Did you pass out in Austin? You didn't like Austin because of the giant bugs.
Dude, and remember I passed out in the car almost? We had to pull over on the side of the road because it was so hot.
Is pass out our code word for throwing up?
No, or am I talking about Dallas? I don't know.
Oh, that was
Dallas.
Dallas.
It was Austin. No, it was Austin because we pulled over on the side of the road. Yeah, it was not good for me, but the stage was amazing.
Austin. I thought Austin was fantastic. The town was really great, but no, we're on it's Austin, Texas, right? And so we are on the Willie Nelson stage. This is like Willie Nelson's stage. It's
on the road again.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, the road that the stage was on was the On the Road Again road, not even the way. Yeah, and so we're on this epic stage with this huge light thing, but it's this outside stage, and so you hear all these people out, sitting in this huge field like a very small Woodstock, and when they kick on all these incredibly awesome stage lights, every giant bug within a 400-mile radius just came jumping at the stage because of the big bright light. So there's literally these cicadas popping onto the stage the size of your thumb, jumping onto the keyboard.
That
Dan
was
is just
creepy.
stomping them out with his boots.
Guys, listen, we have
scared.
We have a caller just joined the conversation. 313, you're live on the air on Outtasite Radio.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, hello, yes. I have a question, and this is for the captain.
Uh-oh. Please don't let it be a question about shipping.
I didn't get my CD that I ordered last week.
Damn it.
Oh, no, I got my CD.
Okay, good.
But,
awesome.
Then you may continue.
Okay. When I have sex, it smells like asparagus. Why is that?
That's a deep question.
Very good question.
Deep.
The only solution that I know of, do you have butter and garlic sauce at your house?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
Do it.
For those of you that are really confused, we were sitting in an IRC room, me and a whole bunch of fans, before this radio show, and I said somebody needed to come in and pretend like they were making a love line call.
Best call ever.
Thank you. It's me, Blue Lotus.
Who is this?
They all dared me to. Blue Lotus.
Well, you did a good job.
Who are you?
I'm Rebecca, Blue Lotus. I'm in the chat room. Everybody's giving me high fives and yeses and best response ever.
Well, you can type in that I'd be giving you a high five, too, if I didn't have my computer crash on me.
Well, we're sorry about that, but you just, put out one of the best CDs ever.
Nice.
Thank you.
So we all had to jump on it, and
Wrath of Fate. Song? Wrath of Fate?
Wrath of Fate, yes.
Yeah, that one
Oh, you
rocks.
like the pirate stuff.
Yes, and I, for
one, learn
one...
the lyrics to that song, too.
Yeah, and I, for one, want to apologize for being part of the piranha horde that took down your site trying to get the CD.
Oh, yeah. We crashed a lot of websites that night. The chat room crashed a couple of times. The radio station that was playing crashed a couple of times. And then the Abney Park site went epically down.
Yes, it did, epically.
I guess that's a bad thing and a good thing at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes,
what
it is.
What call a success failure.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get off. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
Do you have any more questions for Abney Park?
Yes. How do you get those freaking spikes in your hair? This is like the third time I tried to ask that question and never got an answer.
Got to be glued.
The spikes.
You kind of got to be born that way. I don't think you could do it with a product.
Yeah, right.
Well, see,
I've seen your hair in the 80s, Robert.
What was that?
I think it's latent mutant power. You just got the power to do it.
I think he stuck his finger in a light socket.
Oh, that's usually how I do it, but I haven't done that since the 80s.
Okay. So there
It's got to be glued.
There will be no secrets to the spike hair revealed this evening.
Oh, fine. I don't want to be able to secret. Surprisingly,
by the way, we got a couple other callers. We got a couple other callers here waiting to talk to you guys.
Okay, well, I'm getting off.
Let's go get to
I'm trying to get off, though.
here.
Thanks for calling in Outtasite Radio.
Okay, thank you.
Now, for the callers calling in, please turn off your radios when you are calling in, por favor. Let's get to 775. That would be you, 360.
Who, me?
Yes, you. You're on the air.
I'm on?
You're on
I'm Esther.
Radio.
I'm Esther the heckler.
Hey. You got any questions for Jody Ellen and Captain Robert of the great Abney Park?
I yell at him every time, but he loves it.
Great Ellen and Captain Robert of the great Abney Park.
There's so many voices. So I had a question. So I'm so glad that you guys say we can say fuck on the radio.
You could say fuck only if you turn down the radio program that's playing in the background, because we're getting a pretty bad echo.
Yes.
Yeah, I put it off. I turned it off, but for some reason it's still echoing.
If you turn it off, then you can say fuck as many times as you want to. But there are limitations to the F-bomb. We just haven't figured out what they are just yet. When we get our complaints later on, then we'll know. From there, we're flying blind. Okay, you got questions for Abney Park?
I do. So the fans tend to love it when you fuck shit up. We do not like a perfect show. So have you ever played a perfect show and had everyone boo? Because that would be my question. Because we love it when you fuck shit up.
We never actually got booed for it, but we got close to that. We played a perfect show in Atlanta, Georgia once. We got on stage in front of a crowd of 6,000 people, and there was so much energy in the audience, and the band was so amped up, and yet we were in a venue that didn't serve any alcohol. So the combination of no alcohol and extra energy, everybody did a perfect job. Nobody screwed a damn thing up. There wasn't a single glitch. And we walked off the stage, and we were like, well, where's the fun in that? And then 2 weeks later, we played a show maybe about, I don't know, just a few miles from this venue. And a bunch of people that had been at that, and that show, everything went wrong. Things literally burst into flames. We broke stuff. It was this total, your standard Abney Park chaos. We actually had fans after the show saying, this was so much fun, more fun than that other show. That show was too perfect. We've also had fans actually accuse us of faking all the blunders and the broken things on stage.
Yeah, right.
It's like,
I could buy that.
It's like, no, really.
We were good actors.
I'm unprepared.
Well, wait a second. Daniel never drinks. So does that mean he never fucks up? Because I always get a teetotaling fist bump from him.
Dan drinks about 2 mics and then gets plastered.
Dan gets plastered, but he's one of those people that when he's plastered on like a wine cooler, he's so straight man that you can't even tell that he's drunk until he's doing something he really wish he hadn't.
The master of the pie chart.
That. I'll just give him the standard hug next time. I won't give him the fist bump. Because you got to be a
well, if you want to have some fun, give him some shots of whiskey.
Oh, yeah. New York? Yeah.
Yes. New York, yeah. There was a thing in San Francisco where a bunch of fans were challenging him to do shots, and he's such a lightweight that he was slurring and leaning against people, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I love Dan. And he's the one that counts all the money at the end of the show, so yeah. That's probably why he doesn't get to drink.
He's also the master. He is also the master of the pie chart, from my understanding.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, it's
oh, my gosh.
Okay, so now I love him again. Because I love
He likes to send us, 20,000 random emails about every trajectory of every incident that could ever happen, ever. And I'm like, Dan, just put it in a pie chart and send it to me. So one day he literally put it in a pie chart and sent it to me.
He'll send these flow charts and spreadsheets that is calculating the possible income revenue streams from every damn thing that you could possibly do.
Belly dancer.
He should do a pie chart of all the most delicious pies. Like half of it would be pumpkin, and then there'd be like a little slice of apple.
Yeah, Kristina loves pie. She would love that.
I hear that you guys were bribed by cake. Is that true? Are you bribed by cake and pie? Pie?
No,
we were
somebody bribed us with pie. We do not want to start the bribing with pie thing.
No.
I liked it better when people bribed us with bottles of booze, because if we're all eating 6 pies before shows, We are all going
Not
to have to buy
okay.
new clothes.
Yeah, and plus there wasn't a fork backstage, so we were just kind of like eating the pie out of our fists, and that was scary. Yeah, maybe not so much. Alcohol is good.
Okay, so I should not bring a giant pie. I should bring
maybe not
some kind of booze.
Bring pirate rum.
I totally agree. As a matter of fact, I have been told that at SteamCon we are being bribed with an actual wooden keg of rum. That's an appropriate gift for a rock band.
Dude, so excited. Yeah. Or apple cider. Homemade apple cider is the best.
Okay, now I'm hungry.
Are you talking about that apple pie alcohol that they have at Dragon Con?
Yeah, it's amazing.
That is good.
Okay, I thought it was apple pie or cider. I don't know. Never mind.
Wow, this is
I'm drinking mice right now.
Gone.
You're gonna be hungry.
Okay. Now, gone are the days when you bribed rock bands with drugs and money. No.
Now
this band can be bribed with booze and pies and cake. We're moving along. Yeah. This is human progression here. Okay.
Listen, guys, we do have other callers on the line here waiting to get some questions into Abney Park. Any other questions you want to have for them, 360?
No, I'll see you at SteamCon, and I'll try not to heckle too much.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's a good idea.
Bye.
We love you.
Thanks for calling Outtasite Radio.
All right, we got also 815, and actually 775 has been patiently waiting a little bit longer. So 775, you're live on the air with Abney Park and Outtasite.
Hello there. You got any questions for Abney Park? Captain Robert, Jody, Ellen on the line. Hello.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Good to hear.
Awesome.
Any questions?
Can you hear me? I'm good. Yeah.
Hey, could you turn down the radio in the background to cut down that echo?
And real quick, just to let everybody know, we're getting a lot of calls. So guys, let's do this. Let's give some of the people that are on the line a little bit of time so they can get some questions in, because there's like 5-6 calls coming in all at once, and that's just going to confuse everybody once we start adding them to the conference here. So go ahead, 775, ask a question, dear.
This is me, right?
Yep, this is you.
I hope so.
Okay.
Do you have a question for Abney Park?
Don't
be shy.
Do you remember me?
How would they remember you?
I don't know. I've been to their San Francisco concerts a lot.
That was you?
Yeah, Nathaniel called us the Kristina Girls.
Oh.
Yes,
are you Kristen?
Actually, I'm Kristen's daughter.
Hi, I remember you.
So what age are you? What's your age?
I'm actually 13, and my mom.
Yes, I know you.
Okay, then I totally know which one you are. I totally know about the Kristina Girls. What she's talking about?
You have a dark hat.
Yeah.
When we play San Francisco, there's a mom who brings her 3 daughters, and they're all dressed like Kristina. It's incredibly awesome.
Don't forget the 3-year-old that's dressed like me.
Even a 3-year-old dressed like you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Super cool.
I have one fan, and she's 3.
So, yes, we do remember you. How are you doing?
I'm good.
That's good. Do you have any questions?
What made you guys decide to make a steampunk band?
Good question.
Okay, I'll answer that one. So here's the deal. Years and years and years ago, like 1,000 years ago, I started writing music. And I went and played our first show in Tacoma, Washington at this teeny little club. And some member of the press came to the show and listened to the music and said, "You guys are a goth band." And we said, "Oh, okay, whatever." And we continued to write the music that we always wrote. And for years after this, people would be like, "You guys are a goth band, but you don't sound very much like a goth band." And we were like, "Well, we never even called ourselves that." So about, 5 or 6 years ago, we said, okay, look, what we need to do is figure out who we are and look back at what we've done, because it's obviously not goth. We're not spooky people. We don't have white face paint and black eyeliner or anything like that. That's never been who we are. So what are we? And so we started looking about our song lyrics, and we had all these songs about steam-powered cities, and we had all these songs about clockwork boys and all this kind of stuff. And we're like, well, what is this? What genre is this? And we had a dancer girl in the band at the time. Her name was Magdalene Bean, if some of you guys remember her. And her father was a science fiction writer. And so when she heard me describing these song lyrics, she said, well, it sounds like a steampunk theme. Maybe we're a steampunk band. And I'm like, okay, fine, let's do that. Let's be a steampunk band. What is that? At the time, nobody had ever heard of a steampunk band. And so we grabbed it just because we figured there'd be a lot of freedom to just be ourselves in this new title because nobody else had ever done anything with this title. And so we started doing that, and here we are 5-6 years later, and now there's tons of steampunk bands everywhere, and there's steampunk stuff everywhere. And it's kind of cool because we got to sort of be at the very top of the pile.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we decided to be a steampunk band. We were just trying to find a title for what we had always been.
Like an adventure.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, is it bad to mix vodka, wine, and mics?
Very bad,
Jody.
very bad. Do you have any other?
13 years old.
Yeah, very bad, very bad.
Okay,
Do you have?
Horrible.
Do you have any other questions for Abney Park? We have a lot of callers on the line.
No, I think I'll let other people ask.
Well, we want to thank
you
you for calling in to Outtasite Radio. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Now we got 815 on the line here who's been patiently waiting. 815, you're live with Abney Park and Outtasite on Outtasite Radio.
Hello. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello.
What was your name?
I'm Vandaria, and I'm interacting with you a little bit tonight for the first time. So I'm nervous. I'm like Miss that's on the chat right now. I am like freaking out. So just a quick question. I see you do more touring at conventions and stuff. Do you guys ever do more of just like an actual tour? You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. Abney Park is one of the laziest and most spoiled bands in the world. So instead of actually like getting into a tour bus and living in the tour bus for a month on end, what we end up doing is we just wait till somebody offers to fly us out and put us in a hotel, and that's kind of how we do it. One of these days, maybe we'll get industrious. What was that?
That's how we stay sane. We don't really do anything besides go here.
Caller, excuse me, caller. Could you turn down the radio in the background?
My radio is completely off. I have my speakers off.
Well, my gravest apologies.
Another
Hey,
quick question.
Do you have your radio off?
No, I'm in like a dungeon.
Someone
And I
is
have a
guilty of. Someone is guilty of having the radio on. We'll investigate later. But do you have any other questions for?
I have one more question. There was a person in the chat that was from Australia and was unable to call in. But they were curious, how come you do not have an actual drummer as a human drummer, I think was how they worded it.
That's a good question. Okay, so here's the answer to that question, because we've gotten this question for years, because we've been without a real drummer for years. I've never actually met the perfect drummer for what Abney Park would need, is question number one. And I suppose with the perfect drummer, we might do it. But the problem is that the perfect drummer for what we need is someone who can be really conscious about the differences between electronic drums and acoustic drums, because there's different styles of music out there. And I mean, like if you took, if you took like Underworld, for example, and put like real acoustic drums to it, it would totally change the style of the music. So in order for us to work with an acoustic drummer, it would have to be a guy who was sort of aware that our sound is a hybrid between electronic stuff and natural acoustic stuff. But other than that, I mean, we're not opposed to the idea. We just haven't run into that perfect guy. Also, it's really expensive to fly drums around, but that's just my woes.
Because we're lazy.
Great. All right. Thank you very much, guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys in Michigan.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank
Hello.
All right, we have another caller who's calling in. 847, you're on the air on Outtasite Radio.
Is that me?
That's
you.
you.
That is you.
Hi. My name is Luke Butcher, and I'm. This is.
I know you.
Oh, cool. And I also go by Lucius Fullpig sometimes. And it's a great honor to be on together. And, well, my first question is one which I'm sure a lot of the fans have is, will the Ophelia fly again?
Will the Ophelia fly again?
Okay, so here's the nature of that question, Mike. We just sort of did a practical joke on fans, and we freaked everybody out, and it was quite intentional. And here's how the joke went. We decided to release an album called The End of Days, and on it is a song called The Wrath of Fate, and I announced this song as The Fall of the Airship Ophelia. And for those of you guys who aren't hardcore Abney Park fans, you got to know the backstory of Abney Park. We're this bunch of time-traveling airship pirates flying around in this airship called the Ophelia. So what we did was we sort of, for the months prior to the CD release, we put all of these little hints in different places around the internet that sort of implied that everything was going to crash and burn and die. And then there was this song called The Wrath of Fate, and the entire lyrics to the song sort of are describing the band dying. Now, the reason why this is particularly edgy for us is because all of our songs are sort of these dual-layer metaphors. So if I wrote a song about the airship Ophelia crashing and dying, it's almost implying that the band itself is going to break up. But if you actually listen to the song lyrics, you hear what happens is this group of airship pirates go through this turmoil where they're sort of, you know, fighting against the odds, and there's a saboteur on board, and the ship is set aflames, and we're crashing down into the ocean. But we muscle it through because, you know, we're all diligent. We stay at our course. So even in what happened is we set everybody up to think that everything was going to crash and burn, and that you know, they were all expecting for us to say that's the last Abney Park album ever. And you know, I remember Nathaniel coming into the studio saying, "Oh, you're going to really scare some fans with this." But then the final little bridge in the song talks about,
yeah, you really did.
Here we are. Yeah, we sort of crash, but we survive and we get over it.
Dude, where was I where I didn't know about any of this, Robert? Where was I then?
You are so out of the loop.
Yeah.
I'm just over here in my house in a pantry with a cat and a glow stick.
Well, and if you want to see how severe it is, look at the album artwork, because on the cover of the album, the very cover, it's just this picture of this desert as in the middle of the night with this burned wreckage of this airship laying in it. And so all the fans are worried.
That worried me.
That worried everybody. We dropped all of these little hints, and all over the album artwork are pictures of like Abney Park's instruments smashed on the ground. But if you open it up and remove the CD, you can see a picture of the Ophelia sailing off into the distance past this. And that's supposed to be, if you were paying this much attention, that was supposed to be a little relief saying, wait a minute, that wasn't the Ophelia crash. No, that was just some other airship. And then if you hear the lyrics to that song, you realize everything survived. Everything's fine. We were just setting you guys up.
You know what impression I get?
I totally didn't notice that.
Maybe I should post a journal thing saying it was all a joke, people. Calm down.
I get the impression that if this was the 1970s or 80s, Captain Robert, you would be, if it was vinyl that we were listening to music on, you'd have a lot of backwards messages, right? Like the Beatles.
Who says I don't have that now?
Yeah, who says you don't have that now?
Oh my God, he does. He literally does.
We totally do, actually.
Okay,
I don't know that I want to give away where it's at, but...
Hey, caller,
Somebody finally found it.
Do you have any more questions for Abney Park?
The caller, I think, is gone already.
Thanks for calling into Outtasite Radio.
Okay, so I got a challenge for all you hardcore Abney Park fans out there. If you can call in and tell me what Abney Park song has backwards words in it, and tell me which track it is and off of what album, I'll send you a free CD of your choice.
We got a caller on the line. Caller, are you there? I
am present. Here in
Do you have a question for the great Abney Park?
I do, indubitably, good sir.
I like your manners. I like that.
My question actually is, because, like I was saying on the chat forum, the song, the last song you posted, Letter from a Little Boy, I was just wondering how that was, on a personal level, how that affected your personal life when you did that shift from having a day job, the 9 to 5 where you clock in, clock out, have the manager, to doing Abney Park full time. How did that affect your daily routine and your relationships with people? Because I know a lot of the times, hey, you want to go do something? No, I can't. I have to work.
So wait a minute. Real quick, can I interject? Robert, I had no idea you quit your job at Safeway, but go ahead.
Don't you mean Value Village? No, okay. You want to know what
Okay, so here's what she's talking about. On the new album, there's a song called Letters from a Little Boy to Himself as an Adult. And basically what the song is about was when I was a little boy, I used to write myself these letters to make sure that when I became an adult, I didn't do anything stupid. And so a lot of them were like, never give away your toy Millennium Falcon model. It was little kid stuff. But it was also things like, make sure you don't do something lame with your life. And as I got older and older and older, I got, your parents tell you, oh, don't pursue a music career. That's totally unrealistic. That's not going to be able to happen, that kind of stuff. So with the last album, with Ether Shanties, there was a whole lot of songs talking about, like The Boy in the Clock Yard was a song talking about this boy trying to build himself out of these spare parts laying in this wrecking yard for clocks. And he's trying to make himself complete enough to feel like he can actually leave this miserable place and go on and live the life he's supposed to live. And in the new album, there's a lot of songs, including The Letters from a Little Boy, where it's talking about, okay, this is what you should be doing. You should be figuring out the life you actually want to live and stop trying to live the life people tell you you're supposed to live. Stop having the horrible job that you're miserable at because you're told you're supposed to want the things to fill your house that you never wanted. You never dreamed about those things. Mm-hmm. You never dreamed about that job. So that's sort of the theme of the new album. If you look at the album, The End of Days, it's talking about the end of one world and the beginning of a new world. And it's talking about ending the life you don't like and transitioning on to the life that you were meant to have. And so in the song Letters from a Little Boy, that's kind of where it was going with that. It was talking about when I was this little boy, I would write these letters saying, you can't be this person here as an adult. If I was to correspond with myself as a little boy, would I have something good to tell myself? Would I be able to write back, yes, I have done something cool with my life?
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's what that song is about. So that's what she's asking.
So, so do you still have that Millennium Falcon somewhere?
I don't. I don't have the Millennium Falcon model anymore, and I can tell you, hey, I got to age 27 before my now ex-wife threw that Millennium Falcon model out into the yard, and her dog chewed it up.
Now that's reason for divorce right there.
Damn straight.
That's grounds for divorce right there. That's total grounds for divorce.
Yeah.
What an idiot. Her, not you.
So, no, I don't have my... Although I've seen that Millennium Falcon model in toy stores lately, and I've been wondering if I should buy it just for the sake of that.
So, caller, do you have any more questions for Captain Robert and Jody Ellen?
I do. I have one more question because I promised my little brother I would ask this. My little brother wants to know, is it hard to be an airship pirate?
Yes, but everything hard is worth doing, Or say everything worth doing is hard. Wow. Is it hard to be an airship pirate?
It's so easy.
It's a lot of freaking work. Oh my God!
I
don't even know where to begin.
I tried to tell him, but he said I'm not an airship pirate, so I wouldn't know. So I had to ask a real one.
You're right.
Caller, I have a question. Caller, did you cry when you listened to Letters?
Yes. I'm gonna be honest.
Yay!
I'm about to cry right now.
For me, it's like jerked everything. Like
we need like a Facebook page that's like I cried when I listened to Letters.
There you go. Start it up.
I'm doing it right now. Not now, but I'll wait.
Remember to click the like button.
I will.
Okay.
No, totally put everything that's been happening in my life in the past year into perspective. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
All right.
Do we have any?
Have a fantabulous evening.
Thank you for calling in. Do we got another caller on the line?
Yes, we do.
Hello, welcome to Circus. Welcome to Circus.
Wow, bloody hell.
Circus at the End of the World Radio. Do you have a question for Jody Ellen or Captain Robert of Abney Park?
Well, I guess the first order of business is this ex-wife's address, because anyone who would sell such a beautiful thing needs to get some steampunky justice brought down on them.
Oh, we're talking vigilante steampunk justice here.
Yes.
Hey, that's another song on my album, actually.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
That would make for a good song. It'd make for a good song. Write a song about bringing steampunky vigilante justice down on the ex-wife for selling the beautiful memento from your childhood.
Funny enough, I bet there'd be a lot of fans that would totally connect with that song. That's awesome.
I think that the chat group is kind of going wild right now.
Chat room's gone wild.
Woo!
There you go.
There's a porno nobody's going to rent.
We need Snoop Dogg to come in and make a video. Chat room's gone wild.
Snoop Dogg? Hell yeah.
Do you have anything else you want to ask Abney Park?
In the near future.
Do you have anything else you want to ask Abney Park?
Can I make a statement real quick?
Statements are allowed on Outtasite Radio. Go ahead.
I don't know. Can we find out what it is first? Okay, make a statement.
I will try to cleverly phrase this as a question. Okay, I can't. Okay. I just wanted to say that this is a positive fan thing. I have been listening to y'all's music for about 2-3 years now, and I wanted to say that it was your band that really opened up my mind to the world of music. Before that, I just didn't really have, I just kind of had the radio that, all that pop crap, but it wasn't until I listened to your stuff that, it was inspirational and crap. And that is a question,
In crap.
Oh, thank you very much.
It's inspirational and crap.
Yes.
That'll be the album, our next album name.
There you go.
Our next album will be called Inspirational and Crap.
There you go.
That should be your side project, Robert. Wow. Like Ranch
Make a bumper sticker. Yeah.
All right, I want in on that. I get 10% of the profit for the title.
All right.
Wow. About that.
Make a note that we don't talk to fans anymore. Listen to that.
Catch it.
Do you have any other questions for Captain Robert and Jody Ellen?
Just one quick question, because I know that there's tons of other people that are screaming to get on here.
Shoot from the hip.
Cool story. Okay, Jody and Captain Robert. What are some of your favorite bands? I kind of, leech off of other people, and you seem to be you have really cool taste. So, favorite bands? Yes.
Wait. Go, Robert. Go.
Well, my number one favorite band has got to be Outtasite.
Oh. The politically correct answer.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, of course.
The other stuff I listen to is pretty obscure. If anybody has checked out the latest album by Firewater, totally awesome. I listen to a lot of Middle Eastern stuff, obviously, like Nia. It's basically anything Azam Ali has ever done. I like Garmarna a lot, which is an Irish band. But what you should do is you should ask Jody to sing a Disney princess song on the air, because that's where Jody's influences come from.
Oh my God, not okay. Well, maybe they do though, because I did own a lot of Disney sing-along video crap, and I used to just sing along with those, and I guess maybe I learned some stuff.
Aww.
But yeah, thanks, Robert. But
Could you sing something for us, Jody? Could you
part of your world.
I know you. I've walked with you.
Jody Ellen sings Disney. Here we go.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
I know you. I walked with you once upon a dream. I know you. Oh, Robert.
Hold on, Kristina's opening up a Disney songbook.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay, I think.
Oh, hi, Kristina.
I think we want to give some other callers a chance to talk to Abney Park.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I should stop.
Can you hear that, Jody?
Yes, keep going. Look at this top. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl? Okay, we're good.
Okay. In case anybody understand that moment, Kristina ran down from upstairs, got behind her grand piano next to me, and started playing A Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid.
I love her so much. Tell her thank you.
In case anybody was wondering if Abney Park was a really serious band, no, not really.
Not really.
And listen, we have also 847 on the line here waiting patiently to get a question in. 847, you're live with Abney Park and Outtasite Radio.
Hi,
Hello.
it's Luke again. I didn't actually hang up last time. The call dropped.
We're sorry.
Okay.
Well, you're back on.
Returned.
You are back on Outtasite Radio, a.k.a. Circus at the End of the World Radio tonight on the Soup Media Network. Go ahead.
Awesome.
Okay, so from what I hear, in the show that was supposed to happen at Vancouver, most of the band got stopped at the border, but Nathaniel got there somehow. So, how did that happen?
He's a liar. He's a liar.
He's a liar. He lied.
Yeah, he lied.
Here's the secret. Here's what happened. Nathaniel got to the border and they said, "Are you going to play a show?" And he had a car full of musical instruments. And he said, "Why, no, sir, I am not." And they let him in. Me and Kristina and Dan get there. We're hauling everything else for the band. We got cases strapped to the roof, and so many musical instruments, boxes of gear, all this kind of stuff. When we get to the border, they say, "Are you going to play a show?" I say, "No." Oh, okay, yes. And they pulled us over, and they detained us, and they wouldn't let us into Canada.
Well,
that was not okay.
I refer to the Grammy-nominated score from the South Park movie.
Blame Canada.
That's right.
All right, listen, let's keep this ball rolling, guys. Let's get 248 on the line here, who's been also patiently waiting. 248, you're live with Abney Park and Outtasite Radio.
Is that me?
Yes, that is you. Do you have a question or a statement for Abney Park? Captain Robert, Jody Ellen on live. It's your turn.
I do. First of all, I love you guys.
Thank you, dear.
This is Dana saying, and I love you.
Dana?
I have a question. Yes.
Yes.
I have a question for Jody. Woohoo! Woo! Question for Jody. You've been with Abney Park for just over a year now. I was there at Dragon Con when you had your quote-unquote audition show.
Wait, who is this? You sound very familiar.
It's Dana, the one who made the
Oh my God! Someone was Dana. Hi. Someone was talking to me when you said that, and I was confused. Sorry. Okay. Down to business.
Well, you've been there about a year now, and you should have a most memorable event, most memorable moment, something memorable.
Oh.
What was your most?
I feel like we may have talked about our most memorable moment already, and I feel I would almost say the moment they told me I was in the band. Do you remember that, Robert?
I do.
Yeah.
I do remember because
Dana
we
was
were in
there.
a room with about 300 people, and Jody started jumping into the air and screaming. I mean, literally doing jumping jacks, going, "Woo-hoo! Woo!"
Yeah,
it was
because I was sitting,
totally
I was
a Girls
just
Gone
chilling.
Wild moment.
Oh yeah. I was chilling at the merch table, and I saw the band all call each other out and just kind of go into a corner and do a little huddle. And I was getting nervous. I was like, "Oh my God, what are they talking about? I know it's about me. Why wasn't I called over there?" And then they're like, "Jody, we need to talk to you." And I know Beth and Dana were just kind of chilling like 50 feet away. And Robert's like, so you did really good at the concert, and we want to invite you to be in Abney Park. And literally, I think I jumped and tackled like every single member of the band. And then I proceeded to jump on every fan I could find within like a 20-mile radius, and was super, super excited. Like, I'm probably the most excitable person you'll ever meet. So, yeah, it was awesome.
The only thing I've ever seen that's rivaled that amount of excitement was when the album came out. As a gift for everybody's hard work, I gave everybody in the band an iPad. Jody jumped and screamed just as much as when she got into the band.
I know. I love my iPad. Oh, my God. Best thing ever. Oh, did everybody see my Halloween costume? I did.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Right. You were dressed as an iPad for Halloween, Jody. That was awesome.
I know. I'm that serious about my iPad. Love it. Thank you. Better than Abney Park is my iPad. Not really.
That'll be the next album name.
Better than Abney Park is my iPad?
Yes. Yep.
You guys
Thanks,
are just coming
Tina.
up with great song. You're coming up with great song concepts just as guests on Outtasite Radio. I love this.
How do you think we get all these albums out so fast? We don't really think about the songs we're writing.
They just come to you in general conversation.
That's right.
Do we got another caller on the line?
Yes, we do. We have 425 on the line, and we have 248 on the line, and we have an unknown caller on the line. So who wants to take the next baton here? 425. How you doing, 425? It's your turn, 425.
Hello, 425. You are on Outtasite Radio, a.k.a. Circus at the End of the World Radio tonight. What's your question?
I went to that concert in Seattle. That was awesome.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You should come to our next one on New Year's.
In SteamCon, I'm going there too. I'm flying up there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. At least I'm hoping so. I didn't buy the tickets online, so.
That's awesome. Do you have a question for Abney Park?
Of course I do. I wouldn't call otherwise. So,
duh.
You guys are all very positive. You all are very positive characters. On stage, you'll heckle each other, saying you all suck, which you really don't, by the way.
So we make fun of each other, and therefore we are positive?
You joke around with each other, and
on stage, you guys are a bunch of assholes.
Well, what I'm saying is you always have a big smile on your face by the end of the show, on the start of the show, in the middle of the show. A lot of your songs, though, Victoria, Ophelia, and stuff like that, aren't the big smile on your face kind of music. Where do you get your inspiration and your feelings?
Well, that's a really good thing. I think that I would say this. When you write a song, you're sort of taking an emotion and it's almost like you're getting rid of it by putting it into a song. If I was in a really horrible mood because my dog died and I wrote this sad song about my dog dying, some of the bad feelings would be gone at the end of it, because at least I'd be able to stand back and go, wow, that's a pretty good song. And so it's almost like you're exercising these bad emotions. You can put it into that. Mm-hmm. But then on stage, it's totally the opposite. Being on stage singing songs, it's awesome. And so you get into this great mood doing it. There's no way to not have fun doing it. Although I got a funny story about Jody. We were doing last year's SteamCon, so we're on stage in front of thousands of people.
Oh, yeah.
And I look over, and her back is to the audience, and she's crying. And I turn to her, and I'm like, Jody, are you okay? What's wrong? And Jody turns to me, and she's like, I'm just so happy. This is awesome.
That's so true. I was like, this is so awesome. It was like my first show at home. It was so fun.
That was an amazing show. Definitely.
Thanks. Good times.
So, a lot of people have also been saying they're thanking you for inspiration on music and stuff. I have to say personally, I learned about you guys just after you put out your first steampunk album. I'm really spacing on the name for some stupid reason, but of course,
Lost Horizons.
Yeah, the first one I heard was Airship Pirates, and it literally, I heard it at 4 a.m, and I don't know why, but I heard it at 4 a.m, and it just inspired me to write a like 4-page short story on airship pirates that has nothing to do with your characters at all.
Mm-hmm.
And it was
very cool.
Yeah. And anybody I showed it to is like, wow, you wrote this? I'm like, yeah, I wrote it.
So they are an inspiration.
We actually get a lot of people. I was working on this this script, or I'm a writer, and I was trying to figure out. Sometimes I feel like we're sort of the artist in the fact that it seems like the people that like us most are artists themselves, artists or writers or scientists. People doing and creating seem to be what our fan base is about. And I don't know if that's unusual or not, but we'll go and we'll meet our fans, and we'll go to the audience, and this guy will come up, I love you guys so much, and we'll be talking to them, and then throughout the duration of the conversation, we'll find out that the guy owns an airship company, or he's a novelist that's written all of my favorite books, or, it's like our fans seem to be 10 times cooler than we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know if that's intimidating or flattering, but it's definitely cool.
Yeah, well, my whole family's artists, and I took them once to a show with you guys, and they all went, and they said, and my parents are, I won't say ages, because if they're listening, they'll punch me, but
70.
They've gone to some great shows, like stuff that's heard of in legends. Again, I'm spacing on them, but they said your show was like top 3.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Who are the other two?
Woodstock.
Milli Vanilli, and
we went to a Green Day concert recently, and they said that was top 3 too. So that's probably one of them. I don't know what the first is.
Woodstock.
So it's us, Green Day, and one other mystery band.
I'll take some time.
I bet it was Amy Grant.
Okay.
Was it Amy Grant?
I think it was.
Yeah.
Rolling Stones.
Sorry, Amy.
It's probably something. It's probably
Amy's probably
listening.
listening.
Hate mail from Amy Grant.
No, it's because I heard a fan one day in line saying the worst concert he ever went to was an Amy Grant concert. His parents drug him to. So that's always been funny.
Hey, be careful now. Amy Grant's my guest next week.
Oh, crap. Amy, we're sorry.
Do you have any more questions for Captain Robert and Jody Ellen?
I have one more thing to say. I am personally also an airship captain. I am a trader, Captain Zealous. I am a dimensional trader. I have one request, that even though you're airship pirates, if you do see the flag of Rusty Maiden, you don't pirate it, because it affects me personally.
Well, and here's what I would say to that, and this goes out to the whole torrenting community. Pirates don't pirate pirates. Every literature about pirates say that.
Best AP patch ever. Make a patch.
I'm an innocent trader.
Pirates don't pirate pirates. I will make a patch, Jody. That's a great idea.
Okay. Yeah, seriously. Do it.
Okay, well, we have another caller still waiting here to talk to you guys. That was an awkward moment of silence, but unknown phone number. You're on the line with Abney Park and Outtasite on Outtasite Radio. Care to talk?
Hello? Unknown number. You're on the line with Captain Robert and Jody Ellen.
He's been patient.
Hi.
I am.
Yes.
Hello?
How are you?
You are live.
You are now
Jesus
live.
Christ.
Well, no, he can't help you now. You're live. Forget him for now.
All right. So, all right. First thing I want to say is that I've always wanted to see you guys live, and since I live in Canada, I haven't really gotten that opportunity. So I saw you guys do the webcasting at the DNA Lounge, and you guys rocked some serious ass. It was amazing on so many levels.
It was delayed, wasn't it?
He sounds stoked, doesn't he? Yeah.
So when are you moving to Canada?
Wow.
When are we moving to Canada?
No, I was asking the caller. When is he moving from Canada?
Oh yeah, good call.
I don't think I am anytime soon. I like it here. Has that? I just have one. Sorry, I just have one question. Did the incident from being denied to Vancouver kind of put you off from doing any more Canadian shows, or was that just kind of over? Oh, Jesus!
No.
Don't go with my emotions.
Screw you.
No, it totally hasn't put us off. We just gotta set something up again, and maybe this time find somebody who can help us get all the paperwork done.
Yeah.
They have to,
All right.
They have to have an official steampunk meeting with Parliament up there. That's all.
Oh, yeah, have fun with that. It'll be boring as hell. I just have one last thing before I go and let somebody else take over for me. Can you please print up that Pirate Airships Not Music sticker? Like you guys were, we were joking about the Pirate Airships Not Music sticker.
Oh, Pirate Airships Not Music. Yeah, you're right. I keep forgetting that. We definitely need that. As a matter, okay, I will do that. I think Kristina is listening or in the chat room, so everybody nag her because she's the only one in this household that remembers anything.
Oh, jeez.
That's true.
All right, guys. Thanks. It was fun.
Thanks.
Have fun.
Thank you. Unknown number. All right. We do have more people on the line. In fact, let's get to 707. Welcome to Outtasite Radio. You're live with Abney Park.
Hey.
How are you?
Hey. First off, I just want to say mandolins are effing metal.
Yeah, that's great.
I was just wondering, as a band, what is it like not having a label? So I think you're the only band I really know of that's been as popular as you have without a record label.
So here's what it's like not having a record label.
Yeah, like
when you get paid for something, like a concert or a CD sale or something like that, you can take that money and buy something with it. But when you have a record label, when you get that money, you hand it to them, and then you go and sleep in a dumpster. That's pretty much been our whole experience.
It's a good analogy.
So mostly you'd say that it's better without a record label for you?
Yeah, it's. I mean, we do it on purpose, and I've even gotten into arguments with record labels saying, okay, so you want 90% of our money if we sign with you. Can you guarantee that you're going to increase our revenue 90% so that I can guarantee that we're going to make the same for the band? And the record labels all get offended, and pretty soon I'm not talking to them anymore. So I don't know.
Funny how that happens. Funny how that happens.
Yeah. Well, and you guys have heard the ever-famous conversation with Capitol Records where the A&R rep got so bitter and pissed off that he finally sent me a picture of himself, all fake and baked tanned, standing in the Playboy Mansion with a bunch of Playboy bunnies. And he sends me this in an email and said, this could have been you, but it's not. It's me. This is what my life is like, and you're a loser.
What he didn't realize is there's several Deja Vu strip clubs in the greater Northwest. So
yes, if I really wanted that look, I would have gone and got that look.
Exactly.
So, no, I get to stand on stage between Kristina and Jody, and I think it's going to beat anything the Playboy Mansion can put out.
That's hotter. Way hotter.
Yeah. Damn straight.
And I'm your cousin, so that's awkward.
I didn't mean it in a sexual way. I meant it in a you guys are pretty girls way.
I'm kidding.
So is he. I'm kidding.
Good joke.
Caller, do you have any more questions for Captain Robert or Jody Ellen?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Well, thanks for calling in to Outtasite Radio. Thanks for calling in. We got any other callers on the line?
We got 815 live on Outtasite Radio.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
Since this is the UFO channel all the time, I was wondering if, when you've been flying around the world, if you ever seen any UFOs out the window of the airplane or anything.
Have you ever seen any? Have you ever seen any UFOs from the airship, Jody or Robert?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we've been UFOs before.
Yeah.
Hey, Jody, have we ever seen anything spooky or strange in our travels?
I've definitely seen UFOs in my lifetime. Have you?
No, but I want whatever you're drinking.
Wow. No, literally. I saw UFOs.
Okay, why the rum?
Tell us your spooky UFO story.
Okay, I was at the drive-ins in Auburn, Washington, and I was laying in a car. Well, I think it was I don't know what I was doing. Anyway, so I was looking up at the sky.
I think we all know what you were doing, Jody.
Shut up. Okay, but I saw these stars, right? And are you ready for this?
I could identify what that object was for you. No, go ahead.
Okay. So there was this like. All right, you guys.
I'm sorry.
There was a
Go
star,
ahead, Jody.
and it started like darting, not like falling like a shooting star, but it just started darting like to the right, and then it darted to the left, and then it went up, and then it went sideways, and this happened like several times to a couple different stars, and it was like they were traveling like super duper fast, like way faster than I've ever seen a falling shooting star, and they were going in like weird zigzag patterns, and it really creeped me out. So I'm pretty sure it was like some sort of a UFO.
Actually, you know, now that you're telling that story, I actually have a UFO story. It's just that it was so real that it didn't seem weird.
Hello?
Can you guys hear me?
Wait your turn, dear.
So anyway,
Captain Robert, continue with your UFO story. Yeah.
Years ago, I was in Bellevue, Washington, which is a bit north of where we live now, and coming out of the grocery store with some friends, and we look up at the sky, and there are these, like, trails of fire way, way, way up in the sky. And we were like, wow, what the hell is that? And the whole grocery store, everybody in the store came out, and we're looking at it. We go home, we turn on the TV. The network news is talking about all these trails of sky, and they're taking all these phone calls from people, and people calling in, oh, UFOs are invading, we're all going to die. This really happened. Only, you know, when it actually happens, it's not spooky. You're just kind of laughing at it, but trying to figure out what it is. And and so we sort of watched the news for 4 or 5 hours, and then finally, you know, everybody went to bed, and the next morning we called up, and nobody ever mentioned it again. And I guess it happened all over the country. My sisters in New York saw it. Everybody saw this thing on the planet. And after a while, the story just went away, and there was never any more information about it.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Creepy.
Hey, Captain Robert.
Well, there you go.
Caller.
Captain Robert.
You got a caller on the line.
Yeah, hold on, 253.
Captain Robert.
Hold on, 253.
Captain Robert.
815. Any more questions for Captain Robert before we let you go?
I have a question.
Hold on, dear. Hold on. We're going to get to you. One at a time.
Are you ready for your question?
We got to train the callers, so hold on a second here. 815, you're still on the line. Any more questions before we let you go? Yes or no?
I have a question. What's the square root of 300?
I think 815 is done.
I think he's done. All right, let's move on. How about we get 909 on the line here. You're live on air, 909.
Hey, this is Frank.
Hey, Frank. Welcome to the show.
Yeah,
hey, Frank, where are you calling from?
From California.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I was wondering how you guys got hooked up with Unwoman for doing letters.
Well, we played a show. How did it work? I think we had played some shows with her before, and we were very aware of how awesome she was. And it was actually kind of simple. SteamCon, is that where we first played with her?
Yeah, last year she played SteamCon, her and Vernium Process. And then we kind of knew her, Yeah, so we were working on this song, and I knew that the song letters could really use some cello lines in it. And so I just sent her an email and said, would you be interested in doing this? And she was like, oh, hell yeah, I would love to do that. Sent her the song. She was really excited about it. She did the recordings in her studio down in San Francisco and sent them back up to us. We threw in place, and it sounded fantastic. And then we were playing a show down in San Francisco. We were playing a show down in San Francisco, and Kristina just walked in drunkenly asking me the square root of 200. That was you talking?
Yeah.
Okay, Kristina was the caller that just got hung up on.
You shouldn't have hung up on me.
I didn't hang up on you.
Dude, I totally recognized her voice.
Jody, shut up. I'm going back to the
I recognized that voice. I was like, I knew it was you. You're a bitch. Anyway.
Be kind to band members.
All right, I love you.
I should try to wrestle that bottle of wine out of her hands. Okay, so anyway, so we invited Erica Unwoman on stage with us in San Francisco, and she performed with us, and the whole audience cried. There's even a story about one fan being so emotionally moved by the song they passed out in the middle of it. And then you can actually watch a YouTube video of this.
And the guy that's filming, stops and helps him. Yeah.
Yeah, it's helps the guy up from the ground. And so actually Erica's on in the next couple of shows that we're doing. She's going to be at SteamCon. We're going to be doing a New Year's Eve show in Seattle that's going to be phenomenally badass. And she's going to be playing with us there as well. So looks like we're going to do a lot of stuff with Erica in the future.
That's awesome. Yeah, I just love it how like all these different steampunk bands are getting together and making a real scene.
Yeah, it's a very close-knit community, and I'm glad everybody's getting together in a friendly way.
Yep. All right. Thank you very much.
Non-violence.
Thank you for calling.
All right.
Thanks. All right, Mike, we now got to play letters. It looks like people want it.
Okay.
All right. We got another line.
That song?
We got another call here. 503, you're on the air.
Yeah, hi, it's Doggle Mac.
Are you?
Hey, Mac.
Hey, Mac / McGowan.
Yeah,
Do you have a question for us, Mac?
Actually, I want to play Stump the Band this time, and see if I can stump you with this one.
Okay.
And forgive me, I'm an ex-disc jockey from years and years ago, and so this may predate you, but I'm going to try it anyway.
I doubt it. Okay. Not if you're talking about Rob, but go ahead.
Christmas of 1966 was the release of a vinyl disc that bears a lot of similarities to what you've been doing since Lost Horizons, and it also has a South Florida connection. Now, do you know or can you guess what it is?
I'm guessing it's not T-Pain.
No.
Flowrider.
Sugarland.
The Jay Giles Band?
Sugarland.
Def Leppard.
The Beastie Boys.
Is it going to be Pink? Is it going to be Pink Floyd?
No.
We give up. Wait, the Chitty Chitty Bang Bang movie album.
It was the release of the Royal Guardsman's Snoopy and His Friends.
Really?
You remember that?
Wow.
No.
I mean,
a series of songs on it that tell the story of Snoopy and the Red Baron.
And it had a lot of similarity to what we're doing?
Yeah, because it had a lot of sort of storytelling in the songs, and then it also had breaks in the middle where you were tuning up and down the radio dial, and you would hear like radio news broadcast, and it would fade out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we do that on the new album.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'll have to
so I
look
just wondered if maybe if that had been an influence for you or anything. Snoopy and the Red Baron.
Well, for the record, I wasn't even an embryo in 1966. So.
Sure. That's right. He was born in 1982. For the record, he was born in 1982. So he has.
I was not yet born in 1966. I'm not claiming I'm 22 years old, but I was not yet born in 1966.
So that was the year. That was the year that album came out. Was 1966.
Yeah, it was Christmas of 1966. I was 8 years old.
28, I think.
Back in '66. They had the good drugs back then, basically the good stuff back then. So they were ahead of their time. Needless to say.
But I was only 8, so I didn't know anything about that.
Sure.
But anyway,
it was at least 2 more years before he knew anything about that.
True.
Do you have any other questions for Abney Park?
Oh no, not tonight. But good to talk to you guys, and I'll be in touch later on.
Thanks for calling in to Outtasite Radio.
We'll see you soon, Mac.
Listen, we have another call here. 812 is on the line with Abney Park on Outtasite Radio.
Hey, caller, what's your name?
Yes, I was your first caller. I was the one with the way too deep of a question far before the asparagus happened.
Okay, so caller, do you have a question that Captain Robert may be able to answer tonight on Circus End of the World Radio? It's all relevant.
I was going to keep it relevant. I was actually I was already on the line before the last caller got on. I didn't realize someone was going to call you out on the challenge, but I also had an answer to that.
Okay.
And the answer is?
My answer to that is The Wake 2005 mix.
Ooh, the Wake has got a lot of vocals in it, and it's got a lot of samples and whatnot. Yeah, that's right, Jody. But no, the Wake does not have any reverse vocals in it at all. But you're getting closer. You're getting back into the era.
That was what I was listening to you guys.
So you are close, but no cigar, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
I'll let somebody else have a shot at it then. Love you guys. Look forward to seeing your next show.
Love you.
Thank you.
Rock on.
Now, if no one could get the answer to Captain Robert's trivia question before the end of this show, he will reveal the answer to the question.
I absolutely will. And as a matter of fact, when we get down towards like the last half hour of the show, maybe I can like drop some hints or something.
Isn't that now?
We're getting down to the last 20 minutes of the show.
14
minutes. Okay, so here's the hint. Here's the hint. The album on which this song occurs is Red.
Red. The album on which this song occurs is Red.
Red.
That is the
I didn't
hint.
know we had a Red album.
That is the
We've
only
got a Red
hint.
album.
That is the
that
only
hint.
We have like a green and a purple. What?
We've got basically like every color, and now I'm having to recycle colors.
Recycling
Blue,
is good.
green, yellow.
Recycling is good. Go green.
Yeah.
Go green.
Yes.
Go green.
So what are you guys? When is your next live shows? What's coming up in the near future for Abney Park?
Hey Jody, you can answer that one.
Well, we have SteamCon, which is the 19th and the 20th of November this month, and it's in SeaTac. It's going to be epically huge. It's the second year of this brand new festival in Seattle, and apparently there's going to be like twice as many people there. It's going to be huge. We have a lot of people we're bringing in with us. And then our next show after that is actually New Year's in Seattle on December 31st, and that's going to be at Studio 7. It's a circus at the end of the world. We're going to bring in 1 million other performers, and it's going to be also epic. After that, I don't really know. What is it, Robert? Is it
okay, then we're in San Diego. And next year, man, we've got we're almost completely booked for next year. We've got Tucson, we've got San Diego, we're headlining a festival in Lisbon, Portugal, which is going to be freaking fantastic. Lisbon, Portugal. That's going to be amazing. That town looks like somebody took the most beautiful European city and put it on a tropical island with palm trees and beaches. It's just amazing.
Castle.
So yeah,
So you're pretty much booked up for most of the end of next year. I guess that rules out your small, intimate backyard performance in the snow for me over here at my house. I guess that rules that out.
That can still happen.
We haven't done a backyard performance in a couple of years, but I actually kind of like doing those. It's kind of fun.
So you got a lot of international stuff coming up next year?
Yeah, so we do. It's a lot of fun.
So a lot of people who haven't had a chance to see Abney Park live they're gonna get a chance.
This is true.
And you keep your tour schedule, I'm sure, up to date at abneypark.com. Yeah. So everybody out there listening, if you want to get any news and updates on what's going on with Abney Park, just remember to go to www.abneypark.com. All right, Jackal, you want to get into another? You got a couple callers?
We got a couple callers. Let's start off with 425. You're live on the air on Outtasite Radio with Abney Park.
Hi. I was just wondering if the answer to the question was all the myths are true.
Ooh, that's a close one. Nope, that's not the right answer though. But you're really, really close with that one. No, all the myths are true. We've got lots of radio narration and that kind of stuff going on. But that's not the track that's got the reverse talking in it.
All right. Well, we got 612 on the line also. 612, you're live with Abney Park.
Hello, I'm Andrew. I'm over in Minnesota, way over Midwest. I was wondering if it was Witch Cult.
You are correct. It is Witch Cult.
Woo! Ding, ding, ding.
You got it. We have a winner on the first annual Outtasite Radio trivia show with Abney Park. What does this man win? What does this man win, Captain Robert?
He wins the CD of his choice. Just send me an email with your mailing address to robert@abneypark.com, and I will make sure you get the CD of your choice for guessing that answer right. That is correct. It is Switch Cold.
And just to make sure that you are the one that gets the, just to make sure that he is the one that gets the CD, I'm going to give Abney Park the number that you called in with. Put that in your email so that they can connect too, so nobody else tries to take your.
So we don't get 500 people saying, "Hi, I'm the one that won the contest." Wow, I'm glad someone's over here.
Make sure no one tries to pirate your winnings, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just looking out for you, man. That's all I'm doing.
Good job, Outtasite, with that reference.
Congratulations, caller. I'm glad someone got it before the end of the show. I would have been disappointed. I would have been disappointed if we had to reveal the answer without someone getting it. That's awesome.
Wicked.
Caller, are you still there?
I am.
Yeah, he's still there. You got any questions for Abney Park?
You just celebrating victory?
When you're gonna. Yeah, just wondering when you're gonna get to Minnesota.
When what?
When you're going to get to Minnesota?
Minnesota. Yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
As soon as we can.
Awesome. I will be there.
I've heard stories about Minnesota. I've heard stories that, like, if you try to pee outside, your pee will, like, freeze in an arc before it hits the ground.
Well, that's
not that cold there. Yet.
If you try to urinate outside when it's freezing cold, there's a chance. But summertime peeing outside is safe completely.
Okay. Yeah. I'll make a note. I'll put it in my calendar.
So make sure you go to Minnesota. Make sure you go to Minnesota in the summer. There's a thriving musical community there, and I'm sure
there's a huge musical community here. Come in the fall, though. Fall's the best time.
Fall's the best time? All right. We will do our best.
Thanks for calling in to Outtasite Radio. We appreciate it, and congratulations on being victorious.
We love
you. Yeah. Thank you.
Awesome.
Bye.
Wow. So somebody got your question right, Rob. They're paying attention.
Fantastic. I'm surprised it took them guys that long. Somebody should have known it before then.
So, do we want to play some more Abney Park music before we part, or do we want to continue with our dialogue? And we're going to wrap this up here pretty soon. I just want to say thanks for coming on the show. It was great.
Thank you so much for having us, Mike.
Yeah, it was a real good time. Is there anything you would like to leave your listeners with or leave the audience with before I let you guys get back to your normal lives? Is there anything you want to say to your fans out there that perhaps you haven't had the chance to say? Anything you want to retouch on as far as upcoming events? Jody, is there some random thing that you want to get off your chest after all this time? Just anything. The floor is yours on Outtasite Radio. Go ahead.
I don't have anything at this moment, this juncture.
You don't have any random thing that you want to get off your chest, Jody?
Like my boobs?
No.
I would love to get those off. That'd be great. But, besides the fact that my face is beet red, and I'm pacing my kitchen, that is it. And my cat's hiding under the table. And
the cat's hiding under the table. Well, I just want to. I read a lot of stuff on the internet from your fans, and I just want to say it is overwhelming after 1 year as a member of Abney Park, and this is your second album doing vocals. Jody Ellen is a welcome addition to the band. The fans love you.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people, I mean, you replace somebody and then that somebody replaced them. But I truly, the vibe I've got from what I read is you are a breath of fresh air and you add a lot to the band and people love you. So that's the cool thing. You should.
Thank you so much.
I see bright things in the future. I see bright things in the future for you, and they are not police sirens behind you as you drive through Auburn.
Nice.
Now, Captain Rob, Captain Rob.
Can I just say thank you, everyone, too? Thank you to all the fans for welcoming me with loving arms and for making this really fun for me. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
You are but a gracious queen. Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay.
Captain Robert.
Yes.
What are you drinking this evening, sir? What does the good captain drink on radio shows? Grey Goose.
Well, this particular night was Grey Goose vodka, and I got to say, at the end of the night, I'm highly disappointed. I put a lot of that bottle into me, and I'm not feeling anything.
You're not feeling anything? This may call for another bottle of vodka, perhaps, before the midnight hour?
Nah, maybe if I switch back to my pirate rum, I'll be okay.
Right. Now, if you want any recipes for Captain Robert's favorite drink, just drop him an email at Robert@abneypark.com.
I already know what it is. Hog
and I'm
and
sure.
rum.
What do you think?
And he will share.
And rum.
Oh, yeah. When we finished the last album, most of the bands, we went to Maui, and it's mostly because Maui plane tickets were really, really cheap at that time. So we went and we rented a bunch of condos, and we found, just for a few days, and we found that Pog and rum is the most amazing combination you will ever have while you're watching the sunset.
Yeah. It's great.
Oh,
I got to crack open the fridge and see if we got any Pog left.
Crack open the fridge. Well, okay. For the listeners out there, I want to thank all the callers for calling in and having interesting questions and great personalities and being absolutely fascinating, because if not, I'd have been highly disappointed. But you didn't let me down. We even had somebody guest Captain Robert's mystery question, and it was amazing. It took about 5 callers, but they guessed it. And we're counting down. So Jackal, the producer of the show, I want to thank the Jackal, broadcasting out of Miami. I want to thank Abney Park. This is Outtasite Radio. As I always say, out of sight, out of mind, saw the light, now you're blind, party up, out of time. We are out of time. I'm out.
Peace.
As I go walking, I hear the dead men talking. Tell me of all your misdeeds, lead me to all your leads. Each night as I go walking underneath the lamplight, I'll bring my body to and I'm ready for a fight. My boots are shiny brown.